I stand here today on this stage in front of the beautiful souls of ZafigoX today as a witnesses to these words that I'm about to share. The determinants of his fingers now hidden behind his well-trained confidence and a microphone, but the both of them will soon betray the fact that I will rather keep this poem in a cold, dark comfort to my secret hideaway. Never meant to see the first sunlight into the vast skyline of a brand new day. But I must, yes, I must, my body says, for soon the roots will find us always. So take a long, hard look. Don't be shy, go for it. Take it. There's eyes, there's nose, there's lips, there's molds, take them all in. In sleep, we are awakened under the soul force of gravity, the deep earths of our bodies shuddering violently, because nothing ever makes sense one day, and upon the impact, our backbone begins to wax smooth. Our ribs begin to turn into wings, our lungs grow fangs, and our tongue, a double-rod pendulum that swings at its utmost speed, trying to find the best words to describe a world that is simply insisting to keep us silenced. But deep within our bones, we know how we got into this place, first. A covenant broken, a tower fallen, a poem unwritten, but this wasteland should not be the place that spells the end. We know exactly how to move the next best step forward. And it begins with taking a long, hard look, then taking them all in. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello, beautiful souls. Now I know. Thank you very much. So, based on the conversation that I had with Esther, I think it's really important to highlight the importance in the critical integrity of the fact that everybody is a storyteller at the very core of the being. And this is what I love to teach my students. In fact, I think I have former students in this space as well. But when I teach creative writing and literature at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. And every single time when I have my students come to my first class on poetry writing, they will look at me and go like, but Dr. Sheena, what makes a poem a poem? Now this is the context of my next piece I'm going to share. It's going to be very short. And it was something that occurred a year ago in October, and I was really overwhelmed for what I was seeing. I found myself struggling to write. But when they asked me this question, the words flowed, and it goes something like this. What makes a poem a poem? My students inquired in prose, is another blast bit the earth with a mouth to an apple. We could all taste it. The phenolic debris of the rubble, the brackish loss, the caustic aftershocks on tongues, choking glue constricted by the serpent, biblical. We could all taste it. So what do we need to do? This loss, and I do not know. But what we know is that we can actually write about something, write about me, write about you, and even when another blast hits the earth, another blast hits the earth, and phosphorus fire burns our insides in ways that poems can never define. This is what poetry is. So what makes a poem? A poem is a poet, is a human, is dust from the last breath of a dying star. My God, it hurts to swallow a consolation whole. Thank you. Now one more. Okay, I don't know about you, but there are two ways for me to express myself. One is that I write poetry. And the other one is that I like to travel. And being born in Penang. Anybody from Penang here? Just checking? No one. Anyone from okay, cannot see. Alright, anyone from Terengganu here? Okay, definitely not. Okay. So I was born in Penang, I was raised in Terengganu, and I find it very strange that I often might find myself in border towns. So for example, I was born in Penang Fisher in Georgetown, but my dad was from Paribuntar. And Paribuntar is a town that borders 3 states. You have Perak, you have Kedah, and of course you have Penang. When we moved to Terengganu, we were in a place called Chukai, which is a border town between Pahang and Terengganu as well. But the thing is that is not as important, apparently, to my friends in school, because when they looked at me, it feels as if they're not really sure what I am. So this poem is a dedication to somebody who influenced me, just like how Prestia was influenced by her teacher. I was influenced by my grandmother, who came from a world that's completely different from my own. So this one is dedicated to her. When I was younger and way more impatient, my grandmother sat me down and told me the reason why it feels so significantly longer to go to a place that is new compared to returning to somewhere familiar. According to her, this is because my soul is far too busy answering to every leaves, every blade of grass, every petal on a flower, every fly, every bee, every single living thing that has been and will be asking the same question as we pass them by. Peace be upon you, soul. What is your name and what are you called? So let me tell you this. My name is Nur Sheena Baharudin. Nur means light, Binti means daughter of, and Baharudin means seeing of religion. Notice how almost all components of my name are Arabic in origin, which is the language of the glorious Quran. But Sheena. Funny how when you say a word over and over again, every meaning of it is lost. But funnily enough, the one that is I am known for has no meaning to begin with. Tetapi orang tua kata, nama itu sebuah doa. My grandmother said that every name is a form of prayer. And I got me to imagine that every time that I'm on a call from my family, or my friends, or my lovers, you're basically praying for nothing. Is that the reason why? The reason why that when I am in school, the emptiness of my name turned me into an echo chamber, a question that suddenly strangers demand to be answered, like, kenapa nama Christian Or, kenapa nama Saleh? Or, kenapa nama kafir? Stop. That is meant for a different poem. I imagine also why the blackness of my name, and if it turned me into a blank space, a free for all for those to fill in. Like for example, in primary school, Sekolah Rendah, they called me Sheena Easton, though by God I have no idea who that person was. And then when I went to Sekolah Menengah, which is high school, they called me Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, or Explosives Association, Zina, the Warrior Princess. And then when I went to the university, they called me Sheena, the feminist, Sheena, the liberal, Sheena, the Hindu, and the name goes on and on and on. I felt like my existence was tainted by my form. I was a wall filled with graffiti that I did not ask for until one day, when my Iraqi professor in a new class asked for my name and I told them mine, her eyes suddenly lit up. It reminded me of a story that I read in the Bible. And I wonder, was this how it felt to be a tree that Adam named in front of the rows of angel? My Iraqi professor asked me another question. Who named you? And I said, my father did. And then he said my name out loud and slowly with a tenderness that reminds me of a recitation. My professor told me that in his mother tongue, Kurdish, Sheena means blue, the color blue. And that's in Hebrew, which is the language of the glorious Torah. It means God is gracious. And I went, whoa! My brain starts to light up like those fireworks of Hari Mardeka, but unfortunately my professor did not see it because they were already talking their lesson without realizing a bit that they had already completed mine. Because my name is Sheena Baharudin, which means gracious be to God, all grace be to God, the blue light, daughter of a sea of religion. And if that is not a prayer or a dua, I don't know what is. Thank you.
Sheena! So now we know every time we say her name, it's a prayer. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our ZafigoX rejuvenation, and I hope